I'm Glenn, City Valley Fishing Field Team, COAF Field Team on YouTube. And this round, what I got for you? Well, we got some local stockings over here because the trout stocking season's kicked off over here in Texas. And oh, by the way, our local lake, Bethany Lake, just right down the road, is being stocked this Thursday, December 9. But that said, there's some other opportunities that we've gone to in the past. And so this round I want to talk about some of those, especially in the counties of Collin County, our local area, Grayson, as well as Denton. And then, oh, by the way, Texas Freshwater Fisheries just down the road. All opportunities that you can do some trout fishing in the Metroplex area, Dallas-Fort Worth area, conveniently, at least this time of year. We've got some other ones that'll be coming up later in the year. But for now, let's just talk about these three particular places or counties along with Texas Freshwater Fisheries. Okay, let's start things off with Collin County. This Thursday, December 9, it looks like Allen, Bethany Park Pond C is going to get stocked. Okay, going into detail, here's Bethany Lake. The area that you want to pay in particular is the Park Pond C. It's going to be this location here. All right, this pond, you can tell it's got the little gazebo looking thing. It's got like a little pier sitting area over here. It's kind of a horseshoe shape. In the past, we've fished this many times, and we've got multiple videos, including this one, that you may want to take a look at in our YouTube channel, COAF Field Team, for the City Valley Fishing Field Team. Okay, let's look at the new place, Warren Park Lake, over there by the Warren Sports Complex. It looks like a pier here, maybe, and maybe something over here. Let's see if I can kind of drill down. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like two piers. And we'll have to just play this one by ear. It looks like a shallow area over here. Looks like an entrance area here where maybe the water is feeding in or maybe feeding out. It's probably feeding in. All right, so new place. We'll have to scout it out and maybe get an idea of what may be lurking in there before the stocking happens next year. Okay, this is Frontier Park in Prosper. And you can see that there's a lake here. Baseball fields, a place to go park or play and whatnot. But right here, this used to... Well, actually, it didn't have a bridge before, so it looks like they've added a bridge. And in the past, depending on how they stock it, they may stock both sides or maybe one side or the other. It tends to be a little bit tougher when they fish or when they stock both sides. So play it by ear. Maybe pay attention to see what they have listed as to where they stock this year. So keep that in your back pocket. And we do have some video there of some past trips. There's where it looks like this is where that area is partitioned off. So now they got a bridge there. So interesting. There's McKinney Towne Lake, and it looks like a big lake. It's over there in McKinney. It's very large. One of the bigger lakes that we see stocked. And what'll happen is they'll cordon off this area here, usually right about here, and also here, and separate these from the main lake, and they'll stock trout here as well as trout here. So in some years they'll put a little area here for some kiddies to go and fish. I think last year though it was flooding and whatnot, so we weren't able to do any fishing, but they still released it to the whole lake, so a little bit tougher to go fish last year. But maybe this year it won't rain, or next year 2022 maybe it won't rain so much and we'll be able to do a normal trout derby that they've done in the past. Let's go on to some past videos right here. This is one where we went one year.
February 21, 2016, decided to do some fishing in McKinney at the Towne Lake Sunday morning. Key to today was the near deer and a fast retrieve.
Alright, it's actually been pretty good. We caught a couple, also ended up losing them, but we did keep one.
Okay, now we've got Murphy City Hall, Murphy City Complex, Pond, different names and whatnot, but typically they'll host a trout derby as well. I think last year they didn't stock it, so this year they are, or correction, 2022 they are, or this season. And it's a smaller pond. There's a fountain here, a little pier / overlook area, and all along here is a good opportunity to try catching a trout or two. So do check that one out when you get opportunity as well. Next up is Denton County. And you got the city of Denton, you got 2 Flower Mound locations, as well as Lewisville, Tail Race to Lake Lewisville. Okay, so here's South Lakes Park, and it's another one of those larger ones, and you'll see like there's an overlook area here where you can fish. In this whole area you can. I think there's like a little like over gazebo cookout thing you can do over here, and then there's like an overflow over here that goes into a feeder creek, or correction, a outflow. This one's a hard one to fish because it gets stocked multiple times, not as many trout, and it's been hit or miss for us. Some days we've gone and we were able to limit out fairly quickly. Other days struck out. So keep that one in your back pocket when you think of this one. This is one of those ones that just gets multiple stockings during the trout season. Okay, here is LLELA. Okay, Lake Lewisville Ecological Learning Area. It's part of University of North Texas. This is the lake proper here, and here's the tail race area. Drill down in here, a little outflow, and this area right here tends to be stocked and get a good amount of trout and whatnot along these bends that you need to look for, as well as some of the holes that you need to keep in mind. It's interesting place to go. It's like being out in the middle of nowhere or in a river in the middle of the Metroplex with all this nature and whatnot. Heritage Park. It's off the Spinks Road, and it's a small pond, and it can be a frustrating one at times. Sometimes they don't want anything but some dry flies because something's hatching. Other times they'll just hit everything. It gets very clear water as well. The water gets very clear at times, especially the time of year when they stock it. And you'll notice there's like a little walkway, bridge-like thing with a little waterfall deal over here. And you'll pretty much have anywhere over here you can have an opportunity to catch a trout. Just got to figure out what the pattern is or what they're biting on that day. And this one we fished just briefly. We don't have any video on it. It's Leonard John's part. This is one that when we went there, the water was very murky. But we did notice some people catching some fish. And you can see it's not a very big pond. There's some tennis courts over here. You can walk your way around it and have an opportunity to catch a trout here. But again, we haven't caught any. I think we've only been there once. Now let's shift over to Grayson County, just up the road from Collin County. Okay, this is Pottsboro Lake or Pond. Fairly good sized pond, but we noticed that we've been able to catch trout pretty much along this little pier thing here and all along this area here with no issue, and as well as this bank here. Haven't really gone here because, well, we've already limited out before we needed to get there. A nice place to check out, just up the road from Collin County into Grayson County over there in the city of Pottsboro. All right, Waterloo Lake Regional Park, but in particular the pond itself. So it's not actually going to be this huge lake. It's going to be very tough to try catching a trout there, but it's going to be this little guy right here. So let's go back one. Big lake, there's the pond right here by the name Waterloo Lake Regional Park, and then you shift over and there it is itself. It's a very small pond. It's almost like a one you'd see at a corporate park somewhere, or right in front of a big building over there in Dallas. But it's got concrete all around for a walkway, and you can pretty much fish that, and you got a good opportunity to catch a trout. And it gets stocked multiple times, and they hold multiple derbies there. It's also a place to go if you want to try out different flies and maybe try out different things. And I've got a past video of a trip there, and always had a good time over there at Waterloo, just up the road from us here in Allen and Collin County. Okay, this is at Pebble Creek Community Park Pond. Like I was saying, it's like being in a subdivision. It's a smaller little pond as well. We'll drill that. It says limited parking space. There's this one right here. You'll get really clobbered in this turnabout trying to park there if it gets really crowded, and all along here. Keep this one in mind. If you're in the area, you want to try catching a fish or two, fish it maybe 2 times a season and able to limit out no problem each time. So good one to keep in your back pocket. All right, so let's talk about one particular place that we like going to. This is Texas Freshwater Fisheries Center over there in Athens, Texas. It gets stocked each year multiple times, and well, hadn't seen any announcements or confirmation as to when it has been stocked. So I shot a quick message over to the Texas Freshwater Fisheries Center Facebook page, and they were able to answer. One, have trout been stocked, and what is the fee if we would like to keep the trout we catch? Because in the past you had to pay an extra fee to keep the trout. Figured it would carry over again. Other than that, it'd be catch and release. So here's the admission fees information for adults, seniors, children, and there's some additional information. They provide you the bait and tackle. You don't have to bring your own, and you don't have to have a license. Your entry fee pays for that ability to go and fish there. And if you do want to keep any, you have to get a harvest tag, which costs you $5, and you get to keep 5 fish. Here's an overview of the area. This is where You'll come in up here and park. You'll come in through the entrance, pay your fee. You'll go actually through the building, come out into this area here. You'll check in at this location over here, this little building here, and they'll just check your equipment or give you the tackle and whatnot and bait. And then you come out here and you can go and fish pretty much this whole area here. There's like a pier area here, another pier area over here, an overlook, and pretty much catch trout anywhere along here in this pond. This pond as well. Also have gone to this little pond here and this other like little, I don't know what you call it, maybe a tail race or stream, and been able to catch trout or see trout there as well. Having gone to this section here and have heard others make the long walk over to the fly, I think they call it the fly casting pond, but it's all the way over here. That is the Texas Freshwater Fisheries Center. Oh, by the way, usually on the first day of a stocking, we try not bringing the fly fishing gear because there's a lot of people. So I'll usually go with like a little ultralight, and this is a let's see, a Berkeley lightning rod ultralight with a Pursuit 3 pen ultralight. I think it's like 6-pound tests on it or whatnot, and we'll bring that with us along with some Super Dupers and Rooster Tails, and I think I got some bait finesse, what do you call it, lures also included in the mix. So we'll bring these with us, and hey, who knows, maybe able to catch a trout or two. All right, next time we'll catch trout, and good luck, good fishing.